Olise tries his luck! Working it onto his left foot, and he wins it for Palace!
That is magnificent from Michael Olise!
For the second season in a row, Michael Olise is being linked with a summer move to one of the big six. This has been his most eye-catching season to date, despite injuries that have limited his full potential, and it's got people asking, how good is Michael Olise? Is he worth the rumoured 60 million it would take to sign him? Stick around and we'll tell you about his strengths, his weaknesses, and explain to you exactly the sort of player Olise is. Please make sure you do subscribe to United People's TV. There's plenty more of these videos coming this summer. It's going to be a busy one. So who is Michael Olise? Olise didn't start his career in the Premier League. He left Chelsea in 2016 when he was just 14. In 2017, he signed for Reading's Academy, and only 3 years later, he was crowned EFL Young Player of the Year in the Championship. That's when Crystal Palace came knocking, and they signed him for an £8.3 million release clause. Bargain. He made 26 league appearances for Palace in his first season, contributed with 7 goal involvements, 12 fewer than the 19 he contributed in his final season at Reading. But he played just shy of 3 times as many minutes in his final season at Reading, and he contributed just shy of 3 times as many goals and assists. He'd actually maintained his level in the Premier League. He'd maintained his output. And in the 2022 season, his minutes almost doubled with Palace, and so did his output. He went from 7 to 13 goals and assists. He even became the youngest player in Premier League history to assist 3 goals from open play in a single game, aged just 21. He was heavily linked with move to Chelsea and City, but ended up staying at Palace and signing a new contract.
Right, we're going to start with Michael Olise, turned down the chance to join Chelsea.
This season, his output has skyrocketed. 9 goals and 4 assists. It's less than his combined goals and assists from last season. That's true, but due to injury, Olise has played less than half as many minutes and made 20 fewer appearances. There's no other way of putting it. His goal and assist output per 90 this season has been elite. Of players who have played in 15 or more games this season, only Haaland, Palmer and De Bruyne have performed better. Another area in which Olise has excelled this season is chance creation. Despite his assists being way down compared to last year, he's still creating a lot of chances. Once again, Olise is right up there with the very best when it comes to his shot creating actions per 90. And it's important to point out, he's been playing for Palace, a team who are far from a possession team, no doubt improving under Glasner, as their form has shown towards the end of this season. But it makes you wonder, how good could he be in a ball-dominant team? When it comes to his strengths, Olise is a creative winger. As we've shown, he's a creative force. And a weapon Olise is perhaps most well known for is his crossing. He crosses the ball a lot, but crucially, he does it well. He's a centre-forward's dream. He has a variety of crosses in his locker. In-swinging, almost floated crosses to the far post. Pinpoint precision crosses to a teammate in space. But the most impressive and dangerous ones are the flat crosses. The lack of time the ball spends looping in the air discourages the goalkeeper from attempting to come and claim it, leaves him rooted to the line. Olise has minimal backlift when crossing the ball, which means he can pull the trigger quickly, and it makes it harder for defenders to block them. While Olise does prefer to cut inside onto his left, he's also capable of going outside on the right and whipping right-footed crosses in across goal. And his ability to cross the ball in a variety of ways at a high level makes him an excellent weapon to use against a team that's playing a low block. Now, another strength of Olise's game is his ball control and ability to dribble through traffic. Whether it's out on the touchline against the fullback or surrounded by bodies in more central areas, Olise is usually receiving the ball under pressure. His first touch has to be excellent, and it is. Olise doesn't have rapid game-changing speed, but he does have a change of pace, which when paired with a mixture of agility, strength and intelligence, is more than enough for him to succeed in one-on-one dribbling situations. He actually ranks 4th in the league for dribbles per 90 among players who have played at least 10 90 minutes. He's also incredibly efficient with his take-ons and doesn't give the ball away cheaply. He uses body feints and stride variation to unbalance defenders and beat his man. And his ability to shift his body weight allows him to wrong-foot defenders and make it appear as if he's gliding across the pitch. He has great upper body strength, which he uses to protect the ball, and when attempting to beat his man, he's able to lean on them to use that to his advantage. It's also useful when Olise drifts into central areas, and it makes him hard to bully and push off the ball. So Olise is a tricky dribbler, great crossing, but has less than a level leap speed. But what else makes him such an exciting prospect? He has the fleet-footedness of a traditional winger, but possesses the intelligence and ability of a creator who plays more centrally. And that is a hell of a combination. A particular strength of his passing game are his delicate sliding passes that he plays in behind for central runners. He likes to attack the space between the left back and the left centre back with these passes. He shows intelligence when to release the ball and weights these passes perfectly. Another area his passing shines is when Palace are on the counter. He's a very good weapon when it comes to those. He likes to play long vertical passes to exploit spaces, and he also does this by switching the ball quickly to the opposite flank on occasion. This means he's both a passing threat and a carrying threat for his team. And Manchester United need ball carriers. It's a big thing we need. The final standout strength of Olise's game, he's got a bit of X factor about him. He's a set-piece specialist, whether it's delivering balls from corners, deep free kicks, or scoring one himself. He's always a major threat when standing over a dead ball. Sounding like a bit of a no-brainer so far, right? So what's the downside? You know what the main downside is. The injuries this season have really hampered him. He's had a hamstring injury that's been poorly managed by Palace, and that's recurred throughout the season. But it doesn't make him injury prone. Prior to this season, he had missed just 3 games in his career due to injury. He's had a bad one this season, but with the right management, it shouldn't be something that reoccurs. But hamstring injuries do have the potential, more so than any other soft tissue injury, to become a recurring problem. So it's something that does need to be carefully considered and monitored. So the $1 million question, I suppose the £60 million question. Is Michael Olise worth it? Should he be someone that United, or maybe someone else in the top 6, go after? His progression throughout his career so far and his ability to step up to the next level suggests yes. He passes the eye test and he puts in good numbers. And he's done this whilst playing in a team that isn't ideal for him as a player at all. He's been a creative force in these last 2 seasons. And you have to think that a move to a team where he'd see more of the ball would lead to an even better output. Just in the same way that his output increased when he moved from Reading to Palace, it looks like Olise has the ability to make that step up to the next level. We can't be certain that these hamstring injuries are behind him, but if he stays healthy and gets the right players around him, Michael Olise could become an elite creative force in the Premier League, whoever signs him.